Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. You may remember that I have covered several different stories with regards to tainted gold, or what's known as dirty gold, and in some cases blood gold. And all three of those adjectives describe what this latest expose by the New York Times, although I'm sure there's probably some overlap, and I'm sure there may be some new information, but also sparking some old information. A lot of this gold that has been tainted is coming from um, South America. And this particular one focuses on the cartels in Colombia. How tainted gold may have ended up in your phone. Yes, this is going to be a series. This is a TV series, but this particular episode is focusing on, quote, Apple's gold. However, it's probably other makers as well. And it's going to be coming on today, the recording of this video, the 1st of September at 10 p.m. on FX, and then the following day on Hulu. Now, this is quite fascinating, and this is a little expose, a little recap of what is going to be in the episode. Illegally mined gold from Colombia, where the precious metal has replaced cocaine as the main source of income for organized crime. The growing demand for gold as a conductive metal used in phones and other electronic products has helped spawn a deadly illegal trade that's harder to track than other black market commodities like blood diamonds or drugs. You know, it makes sense. Gold is a lucrative option because it can be, quote, rehypothecated. Once you melt gold down, can't be traced. Unless it's the purest of the pure. But even as such, it's really very difficult to trace where gold is and where it came from. The Weekly, which is the expose, the series by the New York Times, traveled to Colombia, where violent paramilitary groups have infiltrated every level of the supply chain, extorting prospectors, gold traders, and some of the country's top mining officials. The correspondent Nicholas Casey traces gold tainted by criminal enterprises to see who profits and who looks the other way. He discovers a route from illegal Colombian mines to the source that Apple and other major companies use to buy metals to make phones and other products many of us carry in our pockets every day. And now we know the criminal enterprise that came through the port of Miami with Public Metals and other companies, Northwest Territorial Mint and others that have been caught doing this. I wonder if this is something new, and my guess is it's probably not going into America directly, but possibly being smuggled into China, where a lot of these phones are being manufactured. And that could, in part, potentially cause the hiccup, with the trade war going on and seeing where things are. We know that there are some who would like to see more manufacturing come back to the United States. And if that happens, well, that's going to be a lot harder, in my view, to be able to get this tainted gold at a discount some of these makers get, which means obviously that our phones and our electronic devices will go up. But think about it. The phone that you carry, the gold that could be in it, potentially could have come through this method illegally. So it's going to be quite interesting. I hope to watch this episode when it does come online here, either on Hulu or FX. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly how this is occurring, how the criminal enterprises have infiltrated all these different levels of the blockchain or in the chain of supply and the mining itself. I covered in the past how a lot of these illegal mining or unethical mining in Peru, other countries, I'm sure Venezuela, Brazil, a lot of it in South America, but I'm sure a lot of it probably occurs in Africa, African nations as well. The gold is a lucrative business. And I think it just goes to show us and show, especially with prices rising right now, how much more of this is probably going on and how tempting it could be to be able to find a way to cut corners and to be able to provide uh, the customer with the cheapest to be competitive as possible, therefore exploiting criminal enterprises to be able to obtain it in such a manner. Unfortunately, for some of the mining that occurs, it can be very dangerous, even with regulations in place. Both environmental and otherwise, it can cause some real problems there. So my hope is they can get this. I'm glad that there's an exposure of this, and my feeling is it should be stopped as soon as possible, and these criminal enterprises and the people involved in them should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, so that we can deal with fair and gold that's been mined ethically as well as legally. So there you have it. It'll be a very interesting expose, and goes to show you how much gold is involved in our lives. Whether or not you stack it, hold it, collect it, you got gold. It's in your devices for sure. There you go. Post your thoughts below about this story. Is this something you're interested in watching? Again, it looks like it's going to be airing on September the 1st. That's today, as of the recording of this video, at 10 p.m. And September the 2nd on Hulu. Tonight, it's going to be airing on FX at 10 p.m. So there you go. Post your thoughts below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude, y'all, for watching, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe. A little bonus report here. This is an old archived article from CNN Money from 2011. And, I think it's worth talking about, and that is how much gold is in an iPhone. Now, this is back when the iPhone 4S was just being released, and so quite a long time ago for sure. The iPhone's been around since 2007, but how much gold are in these devices? This is an older article, so my guess is probably they've found a more way to make them more efficiently with less gold. But here we go. There are 0.034 grams of gold in each cell phone, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, which is the equivalent of 0.001 troy ounces. It's worth about $1.82 at today's prices. Now, today's prices, that 2011, probably a lot higher. Well, who knows? It may be close to what it is now. Let's see what this link brings us to. If it captures those prices for today, this is going to be going back. This is current as of today. The prices for gold here, $15.29 there. So but very interesting indeed. There's also 16 grams of copper worth about 12 cents. 0.35 grams of silver worth about 36 cents, and 0.00034 grams of platinum, which is valued at 2 cents. So that's a lot of precious metal, spread out with every phone that's out there. Recellular said it recycled enough gold last year to make 1,500 wedding bands and enough copper to make 2 statues of liberty. The trade-in companies all send parts to one of just 2 smelters in the United States, so that tiny amount of gold of value becomes a treasure trove of bling for sure. They're doing this in very high volume, says Ken Beyer, CEO of Cloud Blue, Gazelle's recycling partner of choice. There's more gold in a pound of electronics than a pound of gold ore. So it's certainly worth it. And I think that's fascinating indeed. And I think that's going to be the same thing we're going to find with silver in due course. In other words, all that silver, think about it, and there's 0.35 grams of silver in each device. That's much more than 10 times, or 30 times more, I think, than there is gold. So it will be worth recycling the silver in due course. if the prices go up. Even if they don't, if they just need supply, they'll find a way to do it economically where the price may not need to go up so much in order for it to be recycled out of there. But you think about it, $1.82 worth of gold when the prices were pretty high, that's not a lot of money. But when they do it in mass quantity, it's worth getting out for sure. Very interesting indeed. So there you have it. There's some gold. So even if you have $1.82 worth of gold in your phone, Tainted, means that it's they probably got it on the cheap, and it's still enough to be somewhat concerned. I know some people on the last video commented and said, well, gold is gold, and that's true. But we'd be, I think, better off having gold that's been mined legally. Post your thoughts below. I'd like to extend a multitude, again, of gratitude, y'all, for watching. For this little bonus report